So welcome back. So it's been on me for a little bit now to share the prodigal son story. It is in Luke chapter 15. I'm going to start off at verse 17, then read through verse 32, because there's quite a few things to cover. It says, "But when he came to himself, the son, he said, 'How many of my father's hired servants have bread enough and some to spare, and I perish with hunger? I will arise and go to my father, and I will say to him, Father, I have sinned against heaven and before you, and I am no longer worthy to be called your son. Make me like one of your hired servants.' And he arose and came to his father. But when he was still a great way off, his father saw him and had compassion, and ran and fell on his neck and kissed him. And the son said to him, Father, I have sinned against heaven and in your sight, and am no longer worthy to be called your son. But the father said to his servants, Bring out the best robe and put it on him, and put a ring on his hand and sandals on his feet. And bring the fatted calf here and kill it, and let us eat and be merry. For this my son was dead and is alive again. He was lost and is found. And they began to be merry. Now his older son was in the field, and as he came and drew near to the house, he heard music and dancing. So he called one of the servants and asked what these things meant. And he said to him, Your brother has come, and because he, the father, has received him safe and sound, your father has killed the fatted calf. But he, the son, was angry and would not go in. Therefore his father came out and pleaded with him. So he, the son, answered and said to his father, Lo, these many years I have been serving you. I have never transgressed your commandment at any time. And yet you never gave me a young goat that I might make merry with my friends. But as soon as this son of yours came, who has devoured your livelihood with harlots, you killed the fatted calf for him. And he, meaning the father, said to him, Son, you are always with me, and all that I have is yours. It was right that we should make merry and be glad, for your brother was dead and is alive again, and was lost and is found." So some things to take away from the story is even when the son messed up and went off, whenever he came to his right mind, so he had the realization of where he was at, what he did, and what was going on. He's like, I'm going to go back to my father. My father was good. I'm not worthy to be called his son, but at least maybe I can be a servant. So he still knew he was his father's son, but he was repentive about how he acted. He had a change of mind and a change of heart. As a father, you're going to be more than glad when you finally see your son come home. He probably knew where the son was going and what he was getting into. So the father was overzealous, just excited, and basically ignored him about the only be a servant. Like, shh, you're my son, shh, quiet. And of course, the older son, as we already read, got mad and upset. So here's some things that you can take away by how the son is acting. Whenever the son starts talking to his dad, he wouldn't go in, he wouldn't be married. And he replies to his dad, I've been serving you this entire time. He started placing himself as a servant. He had the mindset of a servant. I've been doing all these things. I've been serving you. I didn't transgress you one time. Somehow has taken the identity of being a son out. This is, again, clarified when he says, but as soon as this son of yours came, not his brother. He didn't say my brother. He says, as soon as this son of yours came. And then we see how the father replies. He corrects him, Son, you are always with me, meaning I haven't been grieving over you. You've been here with me. I've been happy you are here. And all that I have is yours, which means that at any time, as a son, and what he shared with the father, he could have been celebrating. He could have had multiple calves. He's like, you could have done this at any time. It was always yours to do it with. And then he corrects him again, puts him in the right mind when he says, it was right that we should make merry and be glad, for your brother was dead. Because the older son referred to the younger brother as your son instead of his brother. Again, showing the older son that he was not in the right mindset. Like, this is not just my son. This is your brother who was lost, who was dead in his sins, who found his way back. It's not just my son, but your brother. So he doesn't even go in the house to feast and to celebrate. He puts himself in the place of a servant by his words and his actions. Even when he's talking to his father, he never says dad or father. He says, your son. I've been doing all these things, and then your son comes back. So long story short, we can be with the Lord long enough that we forget who he is, our father, and not just our master. We are not just serving out of, oh, I have to, or I'm doing this, and doing it out of self fulfillment. We are his sons. And those who backslide and come back, they are our brothers and sisters. And we can get self centered, forgetting our place, because if you are a son or daughter of God, if your heart is right, if your heart is towards the Father, you are not going to be in a complete self centered attitude. Now, we do mess up and we do sometimes start reflecting on ourselves and get, woe is me. But the longer we serve and the longer we be with him, we can forget our place and do what the older brother here has done. So this is for you, and you are bitter about how someone's been blessed or how it seems like God has treated them. And you are bitter about, why hasn't God done this for me? You forgot who you were and your place with our Father. You could have asked him for anything according to his will and to his heart, knowing who he was, and he would have done it. You have always been in a place where you could celebrate and be merry. But our brothers and sisters came back. They were lost. And sometimes we forget what that means and what that looks like and what that used to feel like.